Hello and warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra and here are today's top stories. Gujarat emerges as India's thriving IT and innovation hub. Bangladesh Students' League chief slams Yunus government over Pakistan tilt minority persecution. And basic rights denied, teachers in Pakistan occupied Gilgit-Baltistan stage mass protest. Let's begin the show. India has firmly established itself as a global information technology hub, driving the digital economy with innovation and scale. Beyond the bustling metros, Tier 2 cities are rising as vibrant tech hotspots. Initiatives like iHub and iCreate are reshaping the landscape by offering grants, mentorship, and affordable co-working spaces to early-stage startups and IT firms. With such bold strides, states like Gujarat are fast emerging as key nerve centers of India's digital revolution. The western Indian state of Gujarat is rapidly emerging as a national hub for IT and innovation, blending its industrial legacy with a bold digital future. Long celebrated for its manufacturing prowess, Gujarat is now making waves in science-driven entrepreneurship and tech-led growth, thanks to visionary policies and focused initiatives. Cities like Ahmedabad, once classified as Tier 2, are now competing shoulder to shoulder with India's Tier 1 tech giants, attracting startups, global tech firms, and innovation leaders with world-class infrastructure, investor-friendly governance, and a thriving digital ecosystem.
गुजरात गवर्नमेंट अभी आईटी पॉलिसीज़ में बहुत सारा चेंजेस लगे, नया पॉलिसीज़ में बेनिफिट इंडस्ट्रीज़ के लिए बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स के साथ आ रही है और उसका इम्प्लीमेंट भी कर रही है, सो दैट उसके कारण बहुत सारी कंपनी जो बाहर दूसरे स्टेट में जा रही थी वो अभी गुजरात में आ रही है और उसके कारण बहुत सारा एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट हो रहा है.
A major game changer is the Gujarat IT-ITES policy, launched in February 2022, aiming to boost IT exports from $374 million to over $3 billion and create over 100,000 jobs, underscoring the state's ambition to lead India's digital economy. This commitment is reflected in state-backed innovation hubs like iHub Gujarat and iCreate, which are fast putting Ahmedabad on the national startup and tech map.
iHub का सपोर्ट काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है हमारे लिए, बिकॉज हमको गवर्नमेंट से ग्रांट भी मिला है 8 lakhs का रिसेंट में. और iHub एक स्टार्टअप के लिए इतना इजी हो गया क्योंकि नॉर्मली अगर हम कोई भी रेंट स्पेस लेता है तो भी हमको एक हाई अमाउंट ऑफ पे करना पड़ता है यहाँ, बट iHub में 3,000 rupees per seat, विच इज़ वेरी वेरी नॉमिनल एंड यू आर गेटिंग एवरीथिंग फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट.
iHub is more than just a workspace. It's a dynamic, government-backed platform where entrepreneurs collaborate, share ideas, and grow together. For deep tech ventures, iCreate, India's leading hardware-focused incubator, offers mentorship, funding, and global exposure, nurturing breakthroughs in areas like climate tech and mobility. Together, iHub and iCreate are transforming Gujarat into a startup powerhouse and setting national benchmarks for innovation and incubation, accelerating India's rise as a global tech and startup leader.
iCreate एक ऐसा संस्थान है जिसको गुजरात गवर्नमेंट बहुत सपोर्ट करती है, जिसके कारण हर बार कोई नई पॉलिसी या नया कुछ करना होता है तो iCreate को बाकायदा इनवाइट किया जाता है, हमारा व्यू पूछा जाता है और हम भी हमारी तरफ से हमारा योगदान देते हैं. अब जाके पिछले कुछ सालों में जो सक्सेसफुल इंटरवेंशन सरकार कर रही है उसके कारण साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, डीप टेक को इनकरेज करके लिए जो नया इकोसिस्टम बना रहे हैं उसमें बहुत सारा पॉजिटिव इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहा है.
These policies and platforms are empowering Tier 2 cities like Ahmedabad to leap into the big league, outshining even some Tier 1 cities in innovation. Gujarat's tech-driven approach is also people-centric, focusing on job creation, inclusive growth and access to global opportunities.
पहला सबसे बड़ा हेल्प वो था कि हमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत बेहतर मिला। दूसरा कि हमें कहीं पर नेटवर्किंग करने के लिए जाना नहीं पड़ रहा था। उन्होंने यहाँ पे एक इकोसिस्टम ऐसा क्रिएट किया हुआ है कि हम लोग यहीं पे सबसे मिल सकते थे, गवर्नमेंट के साथ बात कर सकते थे, दूसरे स्टार्टअप के साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते थे और उनके प्रॉब्लम्स सुन के बात करके हम अपने प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व भी यहीं पे हो जाते थे।
गुजरात गवर्नमेंट जो काफ़ी पुश कर रहे हैं कि और इनोवेटिव स्टार्टअप अहमदाबाद या फिर ओवरऑल गुजरात से हो, उसके बाद यहाँ की जो पॉलिसी है वो ज़्यादा सपोर्टिव है स्टार्टअप साइड एज कम्पेयर टू बाकी स्टेट में उतना नहीं होता है।
By empowering startups and fostering inclusive growth, Gujarat is not only redefining its future but also driving India's rise as a global leader in technology and entrepreneurship. Moving on. The political crisis in Bangladesh deepens as the interim government faces accusations of steering the nation towards authoritarianism. The Bangladesh Students' League president Saddam Hussein has slammed the regime for banning the Awami League and its student wing, calling it an attack on democracy. He warned that this suppression is paving the way for rising religious extremism and fundamentalist forces. Alleging political manipulation and human rights abuses, he dismissed the upcoming elections as a farce, raising serious concerns over the country's democratic future. We have a report.
President of Bangladesh Students' League, Saddam Hussein, affiliated to former PM Sheikh Hasina's banned Awami League party, has accused the interim regime of turning Bangladesh into a fascist state. In an interview with ANI, Saddam Hussein claimed that Sheikh Hasina was forced to flee on August 5, 2024 due to a student-led movement that began over quota reforms but was hijacked by anti-democratic forces. He denounced the ban on the Awami League and its student wing, calling it an attack on democracy and secularism.
About fair election, inclusive election. So actually they are afraid of ballot boxes, and also by doing this, you know that they actually, this is not only a decision against a political party, they actually disenfranchises the people of Bangladesh, because if you ban the most promising, most popular political party in a country, you are actually shut down the window of people's choice actually. Another thing is, you know that as Bangladesh right now is a fundamental state, is that it has a huge network with the international terrorist organizations who believes in Khilafat, who believes in Sharia law, who have their relationships with other terrorist organizations with the country. So they, you know that they thought Awami League as a threat to their dream of making a Khilafat.
Hussain further slammed Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus, alleging tax evasion and political manipulation. He also pointed to increased gender-based violence, religious extremism, and attacks against minorities. He dismissed the promise of national elections in 2025 as a sham, citing mass arrest and political repression.
If, so, you know that considering the current context, if you are saying that you are going to do elections and it is without Awami League, it is actually an omelette without egg, or you are you are staging the famous drama of Shakespeare, Hamlet, without the Prince of Denmark actually. And also you are not liable to the people's right, to the people's voting rights, people's civil liberties, political rights, and you are you know that saying about election, those things, reforms.
The banning of Awami League and its student wing, the Bangladesh Students' League, marks a turning point in the nation's turbulent political landscape. Critics argue that this move not only undermines the democratic framework but also fuels an atmosphere where extremism can thrive unchecked. Saddam Hussein's allegations highlight growing concerns over the rise of fundamentalist networks and their covert ties to international terrorist organizations, which he claims view the Awami League as a threat to their radical ambitions. Moreover, the suppression of dissent, curtailment of civil liberties, and targeting of opposition voices paint a grim picture of political repression. The promise of a fair 2025 election appears hollow amid widespread arrest and state-backed crackdowns. As Bangladesh navigates this fraught period, the fear remains that silencing moderate and secular forces could open the door to radical ideologies, threatening the nation's stability, pluralism, and long-standing secular identity.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Authorities at the New Delhi Zoo have made special arrangements for the animals to cope with the sweltering weather, according to zoo authorities this week. As the capital city reels under a record-smashing heat wave which has been harsh on both animals and humans alike, the zoo has provided the animals with water sprinklers, a special diet, and ponds. Tigers, monkeys, and other animals were seen seeking refuge from the scorching sun under sprinklers, shades, and ponds. The Indian Weather Office issued warnings on Monday of potentially severe weather in several northern states, including Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab, among others. Temperatures are expected to reach as high as 45 degrees Celsius in some regions. A Myanmar couple who won U.S. diversity visas in a lottery say their hopes are destroyed after a U.S. travel ban targeted their country. 35-year-old Thai, who only agreed to share his first name for security reasons, won the visa lottery for 2026 with his spouse Chi last May. However, they were shocked and disheartened by a proclamation signed by U.S. President Donald Trump on June 4th, which banned citizens from 12 countries, including Myanmar, from entering the United States, citing the protection against foreign terrorists. Protesters gathered outside a federal building in downtown Los Angeles denounce ongoing immigration raids. Demonstrators marched, danced, and sang in front of the Edward R. Roybal Federal Building as members of the California National Guard and Los Angeles Police Department stood in formation nearby. Protests over President Donald Trump's immigration raids have spread from California to other U.S. cities, with hundreds of nationwide demonstrations planned for June 14th. Trump's decision to dispatch troops to Los Angeles over the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom has sparked a national debate about the use of the military on U.S. soil. Newsom's administration has sued the U.S. government over the deployment. The protests are expected to escalate on Saturday, when more than 1,800 anti-Trump demonstrations are planned across the country by activist groups.
Facing years of neglect and unfulfilled assurances, teachers in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have taken to the streets to demand their rightful dues. Persistent delays in salaries, lack of job security, and broken promises have left these educators disillusioned and frustrated. Despite being vital to the region's progress, their pleas remain unheard by Islamabad. These protests are not just about financial grievances, they echo a deeper demand for respect, fairness, and accountability. With tensions on the rise, the need for concrete action becomes ever more pressing. Here's a closer look at the situation.
Government school teachers in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan staged a protest outside the office of the Director General of Education, demanding long overdue promotions and resolution of other pressing issues. Despite years of service, these educators remain stuck without career growth or proper recognition. The protesters slammed the authorities for their continued apathy and failure to address legitimate concerns. Their voices echo a growing frustration across the region as demands for justice, fair treatment, and educational reforms gain momentum in the occupied territory.
एक मिसकंसेप्शन और चीज़ें गलत फैल रही हैं, इसके लिए ज़रूरी है कि हम वजाहत करें इसमें डिपार्टमेंट का क्या मौक़िफ़ है। टेबल टॉक के लिए मैं ऑफ़र करता हूं, अगर मुझसे गिला है, कोई गलतफहमी है तो वो मैं दूर करूंगा। मेरे डायरेक्टर मेरे साथ मौजूद होंगे। इवन डीडीज भी मेरे साथ मौजूद होंगे, यहाँ से चीजें तय करेंगे, वो हमें रास्ता दिखा दें और रास्ते पर डुएबल रास्ता जिसमें पोस्टें पहले अपग्रेड होनी जरूरी है और उसके बाद प्रमोशन होगी। तो इस पर हम तैयार हैं बिस्मिल्लाह। लेकिन यह है कि पहले प्रमोशन करो तो पोस्टें हो नहीं हो तो मैं तनख्वाह कहां से दूंगा, पोस्ट होगी तो मैं तनख्वाह दूंगा ना किसी को। तो हम इनके साथ बात करने के लिए तैयार हैं और ये अगर हमसे बात नहीं करना चाहते हैं और हमें ब्लेम करते हैं तो हम अपना मामला अल्लाह पर छोड़ते हैं। बाकी इन्होंने जो अच्छा किया बुरा किया ये खुद भुगत लेंगे।
The ongoing protest by teachers in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is not just about promotions, it is a cry against the systemic degradation of education in the region. Harsh government policies, chronic underfunding and bureaucratic neglect have left schools without resources and teachers without motivation. Students suffer the most as their right to quality education is repeatedly compromised. Locals blame Islamabad for turning a blind eye to POGB's educational crisis, deepening the sense of marginalization and abandonment in this strategically vital yet ignored region.
डिपार्टमेंट है, मुख्तलिफ किस्म के कैटेगरीज बनाए गए हैं, मुख्तलिफ किस्म के कानून लागू हैं जिसकी वजह से एहसास महरूमी के शिकार। और तीसरी बात ये हमें इंतहाई दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि हमने अपने खून पसीने से जिन कलियों की आबियारी करके इस गुलशन को महकना चाह रहे थे, आज हम क्लासेस का बायकाट करके अपने तलबा को हुसूल इल्म के मतलाशी तलबा को इल्म से दूर रख रहे हैं। यकीनन इसका हमें इंतहाई ज़्यादा दुख है कि कुछ तालिब इल्म आए उस्ताद को कहे कि उस्ताद जी हमें पढ़ाए और उस्ताद क्लासरूम का बायकाट करें। ये इंतहाई हम भी शर्मिंदा हैं, लेकिन हमारे साथ इस तरह नारवा सलूक रखा गया है।
The protest in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan marks a breaking point, not just for teachers, but for an entire generation of students caught in the crossfire of neglect. As educators demand basic rights, students are left without guidance, resources, or hope. This crisis is not isolated. It reflects decades of systemic discrimination by Islamabad against the region. If Pakistan continues to ignore the voices of its educators and the needs of its youth, the cost will be an irreparably damaged future for POGB.
In a heartening turn of events, tourists are gradually returning to India's Kashmir, bringing with them a renewed sense of positivity and confidence. Just weeks after the Pahalgam terror attack, the valley is once again witnessing the familiar buzz of travelers exploring its breathtaking landscapes, serene lakes and warm hospitality. This revival is more than a sign of tourism bouncing back. It's a testament to the resilience, hope and unbreakable spirit of Kashmir and its people. Let's take a look.
In a welcome sign of recovery, tourists are gradually returning to Kashmir with a positive mood following the recent Pahalgam terrorist attack. This slow but steady comeback is not just uplifting for the tourism sector, but also for the local communities whose livelihoods depends on it. Local businesses, hoteliers and tour operators who had experienced a sharp dip in activity and revenue after the terror attack are now witnessing a resurgence in bookings and footfall. This revival marks a hopeful turning point, not just economically but emotionally, for a region that thrives on its connection with visitors.
I think काफ़ी improvement है. It's not substantial, थोड़ा बहुत है, but we hope it will take little bit of time. But people आ रहे हैं, पंजाब से आ रहे हैं, I mean Delhi, Bombay से आ रहे हैं.
The sight of visitors strolling through markets, enjoying shikara rides on Dal Lake, and capturing the beauty of Gulmarg and Pahalgam has breathed life back into the valley. This revival of tourism has not only uplifted local spirits but also brought much needed economic activity. Enhanced security arrangements across key tourist spots have reassured visitors, allowing them to explore the region with confidence and peace of mind. The presence of security personnel, along with the cooperation of locals, has created a safe and welcoming environment, encouraging more tourists to experience the unmatched charm of Kashmir.
यहाँ का टूरिस्ट का हमेशा चलता रहेगा और टूरिस्ट के ऊपर ही श्रीनगर और वगैरह पहलगाम वगैरह वगैरह हैं, इनका रोजी रोटी वगैरह श्रीनगर में टूरिस्ट से ही चलता है और टूरिस्ट लोग जरूर आइए, यहाँ पे कोई जात की दिक्कत नहीं है.
Meanwhile, following the Pahalgam terror attack, Bollywood celebrities like Uma Qureshi are visiting Jammu and Kashmir to show solidarity and encourage tourism. Recently, Uma participated in an event organized by the Jammu and Kashmir Tourism Department and the Border Security Force in Suchetkar. She met with soldiers and their families, expressing support and urging people to visit the region, emphasizing peace over hate. Her visit underscores the importance of standing by the armed forces and promoting tourism in the area.
सब बात तो यह है कि मैं यहाँ पे हमारे बीएसएफ के जवानों का, आर्मी के जवानों का, हमारे महिला जवानों का मनोबल बढ़ाने आई थी, लेकिन आप लोगों ने मुझे इतना सारा प्यार दे दिया और मुझे फिर से एक बार रियलाइज हुआ कि हम लोग कितने लकी हैं कि आप लोग हमारी सरहदों पे हमारी सुरक्षा कर रहे हैं. हाल ही में अभी जो कुछ भी हुआ उसने हम सबको एक बार फिर याद दिलाया कि हमारी देश की सुरक्षा के लिए आप सबके बलिदान कितने महत्वपूर्ण हैं. इसलिए जब मुझे ये मौका मिला तो मैं खुद आपसे आके ये सब कहना चाहती थी कि आज जम्मू और कश्मीर खड़ा है, मजबूत है और एकजुट है और भारत का अटूट अंग है आप सबके बलिदानों की वजह से.
More than just a tourist revival, this return signals resilience, unity, and the indomitable spirit of the people of Kashmir. It's a movement of healing, of moving forward, and of embracing peace. The valley, long known for its breathtaking beauty and rich culture, is once again echoing with laughter, life, and the promise of brighter days. So if you have ever dreamed of visiting paradise on earth, now is the time. Kashmir is calling and its arms are open wide. Come for the landscapes, stay for the warmth of its people, and leave with memories that last a lifetime.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.